Welcome back, you guys, to another episode here on Chef Chronicles. And today we are going to be talking about some limes and some lemons. So first, I'm going to start with the limes, and then I'm going to go get those washed and then work on the lemons, right? So, limes, high in vitamin C, B6, and low in calories. They are versatile in both cooking and baking. They are small green citrus fruits known for their sour taste. There are so many varieties of them, such as Persian limes, which is what is most common in the supermarkets near you. But another one that might be common in your supermarket is key limes, which are very small and very acidic. Then there are Thai limes, which is in a different country, and also there are dessert limes, which are used for preservatives and jams. And I think when I was researching it, I noticed that they said Australia is where you can find it, so that's cool, right? So when we are purchasing our limes in the supermarket, limes can definitely be this very dark green, and that's only just because when they pick it, they ship it in that color, and then eventually, sometime when you go back within a week or two in the supermarket, it definitely will go from this very dark, vibrant green, to what you see here to also yellow. But it's up to you and your preference of what type of limes that you want to buy. I would definitely recommend to buy limes that are more lighter green than the darker green, right? But your choice. So when you are purchasing these limes, you want to look for like a yellowish green color. They need to be smooth, right? Some people can smell the aroma of the lime. Some people can't, you know. It will be soft when you give it a squeeze. So as you can see, I'm giving it a squeeze and I can still feel it, and it's ripe. It still feels heavy and it's full of juice even when I press it. It's not rock hard, but it's firm, right? So again, you want to look for color, texture, feel, weight, and the smell of them, right? But you also want to avoid limes when you are in a supermarket, because there's always this one bad one in the bunch that could ruin it all, right? So avoid limes that are dull in skill dull, that are dull in the skin and it has like brown spots on them. Now, some people may avoid limes that are completely yellow, but I'm going to explain why it happens. And as you can see, my limes are going from green to yellow a little bit later. But avoid limes that are yellow and soft, because it may have a fermented taste, but it also will have like a shivery skin to it, and it have like spots on it, like brown spots on it. So yeah, definitely avoid those, right? Now, when it comes to limes, you could definitely have it at room temperature for 3 days to a week max. It definitely has a longer shelf life in the fridge. So definitely, if you buy a lime, just put it in the fridge if you want to have it longer. Okay, so now here's the fun part. Limes turn yellow when it's fully ripe. Why is this? Because of the chlorophyll, the green pigmentation, which is what you usually see in the supermarket. What happens is basically that the skin starts breaking down the fruit as it matures, revealing that yellow pigmentation, right? And there's another way that you will see this process happening. So if you definitely do decide to buy these dark green limes in the store, all you gotta do is put them next to another type of fruit that is ripening, such as bananas, to help trigger the ripening process a lot more faster. And the last thing is, depending on your preference and your choice, everything on the lime is definitely edible. Everybody goes to zest it or juice it, but most people will definitely avoid the white bitter part because it is, bitter, and they definitely avoid the seeds. So now I'm gonna go ahead and wash my limes before I go ahead and start about the lemons. So to wash our limes, everybody has their own preference. They could just run any water and just scrub it with a vegetable brush, or you could do a solution, which is what I'm doing. And then I'm going to rinse it off just to get that wax off of it, whether I'm using limes or lemons. Okay, lemons. Lemons are high in vitamin C and low in calories, and it is versatile in baking and cooking just as much as limes, right? Lemons are also used as a natural preservative to prevent browning on fruits like apples and avocados. It is also used to cook fish like ceviche. And the acid that is in the lemons changes the protein molecule structure, which changes the colors and textures to make it look cooked without the heat. Right? Lemon juice is also added to milk to break down the proteins inside the milk, which causes it to curdle. And I showed you guys that in a couple of videos so far. Lemon juice is also good, or lemon zest, inside of marinades. And the reason why many people may use lemon juice or lemon zest inside of marinade is just to help tenderize the protein inside of the meat so it can hold on to the moisture. But if it's left too long, it will definitely turn into mush. So eventually I'll get there, but whatever recipe you are following, follow that timeline. So now when it comes to baking, lemon juice is definitely added to baking soda, which creates carbon dioxide bubbles, which helps create cakes and muffins to rise. In the supermarket, most common you will find, Eureka lemons that are in there, and most of the times there are a mixture of Eureka and another type of lemon inside of the bag, which is what you see here. My preference is I rather buy them single, because sometimes I feel like the lemons in the bags could definitely get soft way faster. I don't know. That's just my preference. Usually these type of lemons are, bright and yellow, smooth skin, and they have like these little pointy ends that you can see right here. Right. And these are most likely the ones that are all year round. So if you're looking for lemons, you will never definitely know which one you're getting. Meyer lemons are hybrided between a lemon and mandarin orange, and is smaller, rounder, and have a thinner layer of that skin, and it's way more sweeter. Lemons are ripe when it's fully yellow, and it can have a little hint of green here, but I have not seen that yet. So but they're smooth, shiny skin, and they're firm in texture. So again, if they're just like the limes, and they're soft and they're wrinkled in skin, you want to avoid them. But just like the limes, everything as well on the lemon is edible, included the white part. The only thing is, again, people may avoid the white part because of the bitterness, but the white part definitely has a tendency of fiber into it. So I'm not telling you to eat it, but hey. Now we're gonna go ahead and wash out lemons. Okay, now that our limes is completely washed, you can definitely get 15 to 45, milliliters of lime juice out of a lime, depending on the size. You may get, that's like roughly about 1 to 3 tablespoons, again, depending on the size. And, you can probably get at least minimum 1 teaspoon to maximum, 3 teaspoons into 1 lime of a zest, right? So again, I'm not doing too much with them. I'm just going to zest my limes for you guys. So I'm quickly, gently, just zesting them so that way I can avoid the bitter part. And this is going to take me a little bit of time, so I'll be right back. So I'm just gonna zest it. And forgive me, my zesting is not like great right now. So I'm just zest all the limes the best of my abilities, but zest it really good. And I'm going to juice them. Now, once I finish juicing all my limes, I'm left with this. Now, you can do whatever you want with it, but I just like to take this and throw this inside a pot of simmering water and do a citrus, simmering pot over the stove, so that way my house can smell really good. Okay, so for the lime juice, all I did was turn it into a drink. I'm not gonna lie, I have to watch my energy, and when my body starts telling me is enough, I gotta listen. So I'm gonna end it here.